Hi everyone, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. In this video, we're going to be starting our playthrough of a single scenario from Arcadia Quest. And just like you would do if you were starting your first campaign, we've picked one of the 6 scenarios from the Outer Ring. We decided to go with the Manor, which I've already set up, but there is some story text which I'll read now while you take a look. If there's anything trolls love, it's rich food and a large menu to choose from. Thus, it's no surprise that Schmetterling, the troll chef de cuisine, chose this vast estate as his residence. With such a huge kitchen and ample dungeon, Schmetterling keeps a fresh stock of the richest food, Arcadia's former nobility. Although it's debatable just how rich they are these days, what with being prisoners and all. The Manor, as it has come to be called, is now one of Arcadia's finest restaurants. Guests book their reservations weeks in advance, not just for the fantastic food, but also for Schmetterling's infamous tirades. So now that we understand a little bit of the storyline here, let's take a look at the different quests we're going to be fighting over. Along with the typical PvP quests, we also have these 2 PvE quests. Kill the troll and save the lords. To kill the troll, you need to find Schmetterling, the chef de cuisine, and destroy him. For the Save the Lords quest, let's take a quick look at the game board. The quest tokens, which are found divided between these 2 rooms, represent the nobles that Schmetterling has captured and plans to include in his next recipe. If a player can get into one of these 2 rooms and there's no enemies in there with them, they immediately collect one of the quest tokens, and only one, which they immediately trade in to complete the Save the Lords quest. If you're one of the first 2 guilds to complete this, you also get one of the rewards. The Heart of Angelus is an item with a permanent effect, so once it's equipped to one of your heroes, then its ability is ongoing. And this ability says that anytime that equipped hero takes any number of wounds, each other ally removes a wound. Now, although there's only enough rewards for the first 2 players to collect a Heart of Angelus, any number of players who kill the troll will gain the title Troll Hunter, and this is going to give those players a special bonus if they end up in either the Alchemist District or the Red Dawn Square. On each of these maps, you're going to find a special troll hideout. It has a special locked door that is only accessible to the players who have the Troll Hunter title. Inside is a special reward just for those players. Now let me introduce you to the heroes that we've chosen for our guilds. First up, I picked Johann. His special ability says that I may use sword attack cards as if they were ranged attack cards. So for example, I'm going to be equipping him with the Rusty Blade, which is identified as a sword right here with this keyword. So now when I attack, I can actually use this as a ranged weapon. Basically, I see it as him throwing the sword at the enemy. The nice thing is that melee icons, the swords, count as hits. And there's actually more swords on the die than there are bows. There's only 2 bows and 3 swords. So this allows him to be actually a little more accurate than a typical ranged weapon would be. Here's my next hero, Spike, and when he's attacked, each crit he rolls for defense causes a wound to the attacker. And that's why I'm going to be equipping him with the Parrying Blade. This symbol here means that he gets an additional defense die when rolling defense. And remember, these icons do not exhaust, so even if he's used the Parrying Blade already and a guild token has been placed on this weapon, he's still going to get that beneficial additional defense die when he's attacked. I'm also going to give him Life Drain. This is a ranged attack, and each hit it scores will heal 1 wound from its user. I suspect I'll be sending Spike out into the fray, so hopefully this will keep him alive a little bit longer. And here's my final hero, Scarlet. She gets to roll an additional die when attacking a flanked target. Now that's an enemy that has an enemy to it in one of its close spaces. So if I was attacking a hero from another guild and there was a monster close to it, that's considered flanked and I would get the additional die. But this is not cumulative. So if my target had 3 enemies adjacent to it, I don't get 3 additional dice, just 1. I'm going to equip Scarlet with the Slingshot. Nothing special here, just a ranged attack that rolls 2 dice. And here's the Nova Bolt. It does have a special ability. If you roll any number of crits, then you can target up to 1 additional enemy close to your original target and apply all hits rolled to it as well. Of course, both targets get to roll their own defense separately. Luke's first hero is Grom, and his special ability is that he gets to roll one additional die for every die roll as soon as he has any number of wounds, and he's going to be equipped with the Rusty Blade. Next we have Greensleeves, and when Greensleeves uses a bow attack, if he rolls any crits, they count as 2 hits instead of 1, and that's why Luke has very wisely equipped Greensleeves with the slingshot, which as you can see has the bow keyword. He's also giving him the parrying blade. And finally, here's Seth. When Seth attacks with a magic card, the target doesn't get to roll defense dice. So of course, Luke's equipping the magic Life Drain and Nova Bolt. And look, we've been joined by
Luke Smith.
And I think we're ready to get started. Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Excellent. I think I'm about as ready as I can be. I have been playing this already with Luke. We started our own campaign. We're 2 scenarios in. This is a scenario we haven't tried yet, and although we're taking a break from our campaign to do this with you guys, I'm hoping that this will be sort of like a fresh start for me, because the 2 scenarios we've played so far have not quite gone in my favor, would you say?
Yep.
Yes, Luke's won both of them. So I'm hoping I've learned something from my losses and I can bring that in here and do better. We'll see. Let's decide who's going to go first. How do you want to do it?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors. Ooh,
rock, paper, scissors.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a bad sign. Okay, let's go to the table.
That's a good sign.
Luke's going first. Before we get started with Luke's turn, I want to point out this dice box that we're using. Sometimes I get asked where I got this from. This is actually a picture frame where we took out the glass and then replaced it with some felt. So if you're looking to make your own dice box, this is a nice cheap way of doing it. But Luke, it's over to you. What do you want to do for your first turn? Maybe take a rest?
No, I'm not going to take a rest.
Okay.
I'm going to activate Seth.
All right.
Open up this door. That's 1 movement,
Yes?
2, and then 3.
Now, you are right in line with this monster, the Orc
Yep.
Marauder. I'm guessing you want to attack.
I'm going to use Life Drain.
Now, that is an interesting choice, because Life Drain's effect is if you do hits, you heal, but you're at full
Yep.
health, so
Strategy.
you have the strategy. All right, listen, I'm not going to question your strategy, because you've been pretty smart in the past. So you get to roll how many dice here with this attack?
2.
All right, 2 dice. Let's go ahead and see what you get.
Come on, arrows.
Oh, interesting.
no.
2 swords. Now that is not good. That means it's a total miss.
Yeah.
But whether you miss or hit, this monster's now a little bit upset. He gets to do a payback reaction. So looking at the cards here we have for the Orc Marauder, he has 1 movement point, which I'm going to use first. You have to use any movement you're going to use for the monster before you attack. Now he's within range. He can do a melee attack, and he gets 3 dice. Let's see what I get. Whoa, I got 1
Wow.
hit and 1 crit. And that means I get to roll an
no.
additional die. Okay, that one's a miss. So it's only 2 hits, but that's better than nothing. You get to roll your defense, and you get 2 defense dice. I don't know, let's see.
Please defend. No.
Oh, wow, lucky. Luke has had a little bit of an unlucky turn here.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to take 2 damage for that, which we'll place on your character's card. Now, we won't do this every time something changes on our guild sheets, but I do want to point out, remember, when you use an item, you place one of your guild tokens on it to show that it's exhausted. And Luke here, when he took wounds, he put them on his hero card. Now, for my first move, I'm going to activate Scarlet. I'm going to have her open up the door here. That's 1 movement point, then 2, and I think I will go here. I could actually shoot the Goblin Archer from this spot, because if I drew a straight line to the center of this square, it wouldn't hit any blocking elements, but I do want to be closer because I'd like to run in here and grab these exploration tokens. I'm going to use my slingshot for this attack. That's going to give me 2 dice to roll. Let's see if I can roll any bows. Okay, I did roll 1 hit. The Goblin Archer has no defense dice, and 1 wound is all it takes to kill it. However, you need 2 wounds to do an overkill, so that means the Goblin Archer still gets a payback reaction. So, Luke, you get to roll 2 dice in response.
It's a ranged attack.
It sure is. So go ahead and roll. You want to see bows. I don't want to see bows.
Oh.
Oh, phew.
Sword, sword, sword.
Sword, sword, sword. So that's a total miss by the Goblin Archer. The Goblin Archer is dead, so it's going to get placed in the first position on the graveyard spawn tile. And according to its card here, I'm going to get to collect 1 coin, which I'll put beside my guild. I feel like I'm off to a pretty good start.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
Okay, what's it going to be?
I'm going to move green sleeves here
Yes.
and do a ranged attack to this guy.
You're going to try again. All right, so if we trace the line from the center of that square to the center of this square, it wouldn't hit any blocking objects. That's line of sight. Go ahead. You get to roll. Well, what weapon are you attacking?
The
with?
slingshot.
You took the slingshot? Okay, that's going to be 2 dice. You're looking for bows again on the results.
Yes!
Whoa! Okay, so that's a hit and a crit. And a crit
Means I do 1 extra damage.
That's right, that's your special ability, but you can keep rolling anyway. So go ahead and roll another die for that crit.
Yes!
And whoa, oh, he's back, everybody, he's back. Okay, so that's a total of 4 damage you did.
Yep.
Now on the orc, you need to get 3 in order to get an overkill. Well, that was 4. So
Yeah.
that means no payback reaction. I don't get to have this orc come and do anything. To be honest though, the orc couldn't have reached you. With 1 movement point, I could have moved him here. But then he can't attack you on a diagonal, and you can only attack the hero that provoked the payback reaction. So it doesn't matter anyway, he's dead. So I'm gonna put him in the second space of the spawn tile. And for killing the Orc Marauder, you get 1 gold coin.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're kind of tied. Well, for my next activation, I'm gonna use Scarlet again. And this time, I'm just going for these exploration tokens. You really can't count these out. Sometimes they have very beneficial effects. Other times, they just have treasure. This is a treasure worth 4.
Oh,
So
wow.
So if Scarlet, or if any of my heroes still have this, at the end of the scenario, I get an additional 4 gold. And then the other exploration token, wow, this is gold as well, but this time it has a 2 marked on it. Not worth quite as much, but still, that's 6 gold that I potentially can have at the end of the game. Now that only used up 2 of my movement points. Now that Scarlet's got bags full of gold, she wants to get away from any other guild heroes who might want to get their grubby hands on them. Luke.
Grubby.
Very grubby. Now I have to admit, I'm a little surprised. Luke has assured me he's not going to attack me.
For now.
For now, I'll take it, especially after that last ranged attack roll you did. What are you going to do instead, Luke?
I'm going to move Seth 1, 2, fiddle with the lock and unlock it. 3.
Fiddle with the lock. Okay, well done. So that's all of Seth's turn. That's the end of your turn. Over to me. Luke, I'm keeping it really simple myself. I'm just going to have Johan go 1, 2, 3. That's it for me. Over to you, Luke.
I'm not doing much either.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Grom and go 1, 2, 3. Done.
All right. Keeping it simple. I like this. Well, I'm going to have Spike go 1, 2, and I think I will move 1 more space for 3. And Spike's going to attack using his parrying blade. That's going to give me 2 dice to roll, and I'm going to be looking for swords. And, well, I rolled 1 single sword. Not enough to kill this monster, but it will provoke a payback reaction. I will put the wound here beside the Orc Marauder as a reminder. You get to control this Orc Marauder and the payback reaction, Luke. What do you want to do?
The Orc Marauder looks at Spike and says, I'm offended by your horrible hairstyle. Yeah!
Okay, so I guess he's going to attack. Now, you could move him.
No.
No, you're just going to attack from there? All right, you get 3 dice. That's ridiculous. 3 dice, and of course, you're looking for swords. Go ahead. Let's see what you get.
Oh, yes!
2 swords. That is a scary amount of swords, but I still get to roll my defense, which is a total of 2. That's Spike's base defense, plus an additional 1 because he's carrying the parrying blade.
Oh, yes.
And remember, any crits I roll do a wound back to the Orc Marauder. That's my special ability. Hopefully, some crits.
Lots of crits indeed.
So that's a total miss, and Spike is going to have to take 2 wounds. Too bad, Spike. 1 more wound and he's dead. All right, Luke, do you know what you want to do for your turn?
Absolutely.
Okay, wow, there's confidence. What are you going to do?
I'm going to move Seth 1, 2,
Nice teleporting sound effects. Okay.
3.
Ah, so you've moved right up close. That's bold. Bold.
Now I'm going to attack,
Yes.
and you'll see my strategy.
Okay, what do you mean?
I'm going to do 1 on the Nova Bolt. Now the Nova Bolt says,
Yes.
if I roll a critical when attacking with this, I hit another
Enemy that's close.
Yeah.
Right, right.
This is close to this guy. That's why I used Life Drain earlier and saved this attack.
Now that is pretty clever. I have to give it to you. That was good thinking. Now the thing you didn't know is that these 2 orcs are Gunk and Bunk. And they are the waiters at the restaurant. And they want nothing to do with old Smetterling the troll. So they've been hiding over here, and they do not want to be found out by other monsters or heroes. You're in trouble, buddy, because if you don't kill them, they are going to beat you up.
Well, I get to attack with 2 dice,
Yes.
and let's see what happens.
Okay. You want to see bows. You saw 1 bow. Unfortunately, no crits in this case. They don't get any defense. Which one were you targeting? We never specified. Was it Bunk or Gunk?
This one.
Okay, so
Is that Bunk?
That's Bunk.
Okay.
Bunk's going to get a wound here. And he's also going to get a payback reaction.
Uh-oh.
So he's going to roll 3 dice. And that's hopefully 3 swords. Oh, we have 1 cocked die over here. Oh, it's a sword though. So that is going to be 2 hits. Luke, you have 2 wounds on Seth already. If you can't block both of these, Seth's going to be killed. Seth gets 2 defense dice. So Luke, go ahead and roll them up and good luck.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Lucky Luke doesn't strike.
Oh, you were able to block one of them with this shield, but the other one does get through. So we're going to put that wound on Seth. That's 3. Seth is then removed and returned to your hero card, and we're going to have to give Seth a death token. And anytime a hero is killed, the other guilds rejoice, and they get 1 gold coin. So thank you for that, Luke.
You're not very welcome.
I didn't think so. All right, Spike is really riled up. You ugly orc making fun of me beautiful haircut that my mother gave me. Take a blast of my magic attack. So I'm gonna have Spike here do life drain. This is a ranged attack. It gives me 2 dice. And if I roll any hits, I'm going to get to heal 1 wound for each, which is good because I have 2 wounds right now. Oh, this is not good. Those are 2 misses. And this monster
is angry about the remark about him being ugly.
Oh dear. Okay, well, you get to roll 3 attack. Go ahead and roll them. If I take 1 more wound, I'm dead. So hopefully you don't roll too well. Oh, okay. So you did potentially land a hit on me here. I do get 3 defense dice though. Hopefully. Oh, look at this. Now this is really good because this means not only did I block, but I get to roll another defense die. Okay. But the other reason why this is really good is because this is actually a wound. When Spike rolls crits during his defense roll, they wound the attacking character. 2 wounds in this orc is going to kill him. So I'll remove this from the board and I get to collect 1 coin as shown on his monster card, which I'll take and add to my supply. And of course, the Orc Marauder goes into the spawn tile graveyard. I don't know about you guys, I suspect you're as surprised as Luke is.
Yeah.
Because
you? Almost like doing good?
I know, it's a little bit shocking. My dice rolling's been pretty good. Yours has been, you've had 1 really good roll.
Okay.
But you've had some kind of not so great rolls. Well, listen, we've still got more to do here. Should we get back to the table and see what's next?
Yep.
All right.
For my turn, Grom is going to walk up,
Yes?
kick open the door.
And isn't he surprised to find
A hammer beastman.
What are you doing, puny human?
Who you calling puny?
Well, at least you share my sense of style. Shirtless. I'm still gonna smash you in the face with my hammer.
Not unless I do it first.
Okay, well, you can try to do it first. What are you attacking with here?
My rusty blade.
Okay, oh, that is a pretty good attack. That is gonna give you 3 dice. Go ahead and roll them. You're gonna look for some swords. And do we see any? 2 swords. Now, you actually have to give the Hammer Beastman 3 wounds in order to defeat him. But we will put the 2 wounds on him. He has no defense. Now he gets to attack back with a payback reaction. The Hammer Beastman is no joke. He rolls 4 dice when attacking. My roll, on the other hand, is clearly a joke. I only managed to get 1 hit. Luke, you're gonna need to roll your defense. How many defense dice do you get with Grom?
1.
Only 1, okay. Well, go ahead and roll.
Very great at defending.
That's not great, but hey, thankfully it's only 1 wound. And in your case, a wound isn't so bad. Because once Grom has any amount of wounds, he now gets to roll an extra die with every attack, every defense, or any other time. One thing worth noting is the Hammer Beastman has a special ability. If he deals a wound, then the target is dazed. To show you're dazed, you just lay the model on its side. Now it can still move around and attack as normal, but it is not allowed to roll defense dice when it's attacked. As soon as the hero rests, the dazed effect is gone and the hero stands back up. Well, it's my turn, and my two heroes here once again have lost track of Spike, who's always running off and fighting monsters. Johan instead is going to use his 3 movement points to go 1, 2, 3. Hey, Scarlet, sounds like one of the other heroes is in trouble.
I know what you're up to, Dad. You're coming to attack me.
Maybe I'm just coming to say a friendly hello.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Well, what do you want to do for your turn here?
I'm going to rest.
Yeah, you know what? That is the smartest option here, I think, because you've got a dead character, you've got a dazed character, and Greensleeve is still there, but one of his weapons, in fact his best weapon, is exhausted. So resting means that, first of all, you can remove all of the exhaustion tokens from all the different items. Your dead heroes, if they have any wounds, the wounds get removed, but the death token stays. That becomes important during the upgrade phase, as we will see. And then you get to put your hero, your resurrected hero, anywhere you'd like. Where do you want to put?
Funny idea to put him in here, but I'm going to put him in here.
That would be very risky. Okay, so you're going back here. Now remember, when you resurrect, you can go into a closed space of a hero that was already on the board. You can go in your starting spaces if you want.
Yeah.
But okay, that's a fine choice. Grom gets to stand back up.
Oh, grunt.
And you have the option of rearranging any of your items, unless you're happy with what you've got here.
Happy.
All right, so that's the end of your turn. Now Luke's rest has actually changed things for me a little bit. My plan had been to move Jahan up here and attack Greensleeves, hopefully getting a kill and completing one of my quests. But now that you've placed Seth here, I realize my line of sight, if I draw a line from the center of this square all the way to the center of this square, I'm just again hitting corners at a 45-degree angle, which does not block line of sight. And Seth is a little easier to kill. He only has 3 life points compared to the 4 that Greensleeves has. And don't forget, Johan has the natural ability that he can use his sword as a ranged attack.
Oh, brother.
He's very skilled. He's got the boomerang sword. He's going to throw it, hopefully knock you out, and it'll come back to him. Let's find out. I'm going to roll my 3 dice. Are you kidding me? Only 1 hit. Well, you still get to roll your defense dice, which is 2. So go ahead, maybe you'll block it.
Come on.
Maybe you won't.
Oh.
You don't, so it is going to count as a wound. I will place that wound on Seth's hero card. Listen, you got to give Johan some credit. Throwing a sword that distance, that's not easy. Well, I'm running into a bit of a problem here. I'm almost fully exhausted as well. Scarlet has got her Nova Bolt, and that's about it. But that's not your problem, because in this playthrough, you guys finally are going to be teaming up with Luke.
Finally!
So we're going to end the episode here. Show you the board, show you the state of our characters and what they have, remind you about the abilities of the monsters and the quests, and then you guys can decide what you think Luke should do for his next turn. Which hero should he activate next? You can even propose some later strategies in his turn, trying to think ahead to what he might want to do. And just put those in the comments below. If you like what someone suggests, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like it, make your own suggestion. Maybe someone will vote for that. Whichever one gets the most votes, that's what we'll come back and do. But until the next episode,
thanks for watching.